Hey, good afternoon. I'll turn off my camera, no, kasi I'm having problems with my camera. But, don't you worry. Okay, just hear my voice and hope to uh, get pointers, no, regarding our topic. So, ang topic natin ngayon basically is fringe benefits and de minimis benefits. So, let's start with fringe benefits. Okay, so ayan, fringe benefits. So there are things that you need to consider now about the fringe benefits. By the way, sa October 2023 na board exam, no, the first question is actually about fringe benefit tax. So ano bang meron dito? Okay, in fringe benefits. In understanding fringe benefit tax, of course, you have to understand first, no, the classification of employees. Sino ba ito mga to? Kasi nagbabago ang treatment ng fringe benefit depending on who received the benefit. And then what are fringe benefits? Okay? How do we treat these fringe benefits? Okay, valuations. Kasi kung mali ang computation mo sa taas pa lang sa valuation, aba, siguradong hanggang sa baba, mali na tayo. And what are examples of fringe benefits? No? Basically, ito yun, bibigay na natin. And then, how do we compute? Kaya kita mo, in all of our discussions, basically, if there's a computation, the application is always last kasi nga, ano kailangan tama muna yung ating understanding of the concepts. Okay, I'll try to open my camera. Now, tignan natin to. Classification of employees. So there are three employees under the tax code. So we have number one, other than rank and file. Okay, we won't call the taxpayer managerial in this case kasi nakalagay mismo sa tax code natin other than rank and file eh. Pero sa labor code of the Philippines, this taxpayer is categorized as managerial employee. So who is this other than rank and file? Aba, this taxpayer, the reason why he is classified as other than rank and file kasi simple lang. He is vested with powers or prerogatives to lay down and execute management policies and or hire, suspend, lay off, recall, discharge, assign, or discipline employees. Sa madaling salita, itong other than rank and file or let's just call him managerial employee for purposes of discussion. Okay, ang sa madaling salita, siya ay merong kapangyarihan. Okay, kung meron siyang power to basically, ayan, to enact policies, to hire, suspend, recall, discharge, assign, or discipline employee, this person is holding managerial position. The other one, ito yung mid-level management, supervisory employees. Who are these people? Ito, in the interest of the employer, they effectively recommend managerial actions. Okay, or the exercise of such authority is not merely routinary or clerical in nature, but requires independent judgment. Itong tao na to, although in some cases, he has the power, pero ito lang lagi, nagre-recommend lang siya managerial actions. So, halimbawa, supervisor to, pwede ba siya magtanggal ng empleyado? Hindi. So, he merely recommends the termination of an employee. Normally, walang power siyang nakatulad ng meron sa managerial employee. Ang trabaho niya is not merely routinary or clerical kasi nga gumagamit ng judgment. So, essentially, supervisory employees, okay, meron siyang decision-making power din. Decision-making power. Okay, kasi nga, kailangan niya ng independent judgment. So, yung number 3 naman, rank and file, essentially, this employee do not hold, okay, neither managerial nor supervisory position. So, ibig sabihin, ang trabaho nito, okay, this person has no power, tapos, he does not use judgment. Okay, tapos, ang trabaho niya, routinary only. Routinary. So, lagi-lagi ang ginagawa niya. Aba, kung ganyan, rank and file ang classification ni employee. Now, under Section 33 of the tax code, nakalagay dyan the definition of fringe benefits. So, ang sabi dyan, fringe benefits means any good, service, or other benefit furnished or granted in cash, kung pera binigay, or in kind, kung other than money. So, example niyan, no, yung mga use of motor vehicle, okay, yung sa pabahay, pautang, in kind yan, by an employer to an employee who is occupying a managerial position, meaning this person holds a power. Okay? Now, these are the examples provided under Section 33. Ito yung mga fringe benefits na, again, enumerated under the tax code. The list is not exclusive, which means if there are other benefits, even if not mentioned, pwede yang ma-subject sa fringe benefit tax. Pero kung gusto mo kabisaduhin, simple lang yan. Ito yung ating mnemonic. Have, him, ehel. Itong have, him, ehel, ayan yan. Okay, housing, expense, vehicle, household expenses, interest, membership, expenses for foreign travel, holiday, educational assistance, at saka yung sa life insurance. Okay, sa life muna yan. And of course, kasama din yung non-life yan kung sakasakali. So these are, again, for purposes of emphasis, the fringe benefits enumerated in the tax code. Hindi exclusive list itong mga to. Okay? Now, how do we treat the fringe benefits? O, general rule. Fringe benefits. So, ano nga itong mga fringe benefits? Yan yung have, him, ehel. Yan yung mga goods, service, or other benefit. Okay? Na if given to persons holding managerial positions are subject to FBT. Bakit general rule? Kasi merong exceptions. So, which means even if the fringe benefits have him, ehel, okay, were given to a person holding a managerial position, the same can be exempted also from fringe benefit tax. Kailan papasok ang exceptions? Ito yung ating mnemonic. Can, convenience, advantage, necessary, required by the nature of the trade. Basta yan ay natupad, hindi yan subject sa FBT. Okay, example ng convenience of the employer. Advantage of the employer. Halimbawa, construction company tayo, construction. And then, meron tayong chief engineer. Meron tayong chief architects. Okay, they hold managerial position. Construction company tayo, ha? Papaano? Binigyan natin ng pasasakyan ng mga yan so that they can go to the site on our project para ma-check nila if everything is in order. So the granting of the motor vehicle, even if the person, the recipient is a person holding managerial position, is exempted. Bakit? For the convenience of the employer yan eh. For the advantage of the employer yan eh. Kinakailangan yan eh. Required by the nature of the trade. So therefore, in those instances, no fringe benefit tax is imposable. Kaya nga, ganito yan. In some instances, merong mga fringe benefits na dalawa ang nakikinabang. Sinong dalawa yon? Nakinabang na sa employer, nakinabang pa sa employee. In this case, the benefit of the employer, and the benefit of the employee, 50-50 sila. Ito lang yung itatax natin, yung benefit of the employee. Yan yung subject sa FBT. Ito, exempt ito. Bakit exempt? Kasi there's a convenience on the part of the employer. There's an advantage on the part of the employer. Example yan, yung mga rental, yung paggamit ng sasakyan. O, halimbawa, I'm the employer, ikaw yung managerial employee, nagrenta ako ng bahay para doon ka tumira, para malapit ka sa opisina. In that case, both of us benefited. But my benefit as an employer, it is not subject to FBT. Your benefit is subject to FBT. Ito yung dahilan kung bakit meron tayong 50% na rate minsan sa mga fringe benefit. Okay, number 5. Ito, why is this not subject to FBT? Very simple, because the special law provided for its exemption. Example, yung mga nasa sundalo natin, no, sa Camp John Hay, if you've been there, okay, it's a government facility. Doon nagte-training ang ating mga sundalo. Papaano, di ba, merong mga ano doon, merong mga merong mga pabahay doon. O sino nakatira? Mga generals. Okay, mga colonels, high-ranking officials of the armed forces. So the provision of housing for these people, they hold managerial position, exempted yan under the AIFP Charter. Okay? Number 6, benefits given to rank and file. O, bakit exempted yung number 6 sa fringe benefit tax? Kasi ito ay subject sa withholding tax on compensation. Bakit, sir, withholding tax on compensation? Kasi if fringe benefit is given to rank and file, the fringe benefit is treated as additional compensation, which is subject to withholding tax on compensation. Okay, number 7, contributions of employer to retirement insurance, hospitalization, and benefit plans. Ito naman, it can be statutory. No? Example ng statutory, yung SSS, PhilHealth, Pag-ibig, yan, mga statutory contributions yan. Exempted yan. No? Kung halimbawa, yung employer share, binibigay niya yan, nire-remit sa mga government agencies for and on behalf of the employee, kasi yan ang share niya, exempted yan. Ano pa? Yung mga group insurance, exempted din. Yung mga life insurance provided by the employer for the benefit of the employee, okay, in the nature of fringe benefit, yan ay hindi subject sa fringe benefit tax. Pero merong exception yan, of course. Yung taxable fringe benefit, pag-usapan natin mamaya. And then number 8, de minimis benefits, they are also, they are fringe benefits actually, but they are not subject to fringe benefit tax because de minimis benefits are only benefits of relatively small value. Maliit na bagay lang yan, kaya nga hindi natin tinatax. Okay? So now, characteristics of fringe benefit tax. Tandaan mo, fringe benefit tax is a final tax, which means it is a withholding tax. Okay? Which means if an income, di ba sabi natin, has been subjected to final tax, the recipient of the income is no longer required to report the income. Kaya nga, kapag na-subject ang FBT, ang fringe benefit sa FBT, hindi i-report ni employee yan. Okay, ni manager yan. Bakit? Kasi subjected na sa final tax. Now, let me just clarify that under Section 33 of the Tax Code, nakalagay doon ang title, no? Nakalagay special treatment of fringe benefits. Bakit special ang treatment ng fringe benefits which are subject to fringe benefit tax? Simple lang. Kasi the fringe benefit is not an income per se of the manager. Example, meron akong bahay at lupa, pinatira kita doon, manager kita. Porke ba tumira ka na doon? Yung pagtira mo ba doon? Nag-earn ka ba ng income? Hindi. Di ba? Meron akong sasakyan. Pinahiram ko sa iyo ang sasakyan ko. Fleet of motor vehicle. Okay, being the manager, you were able to use the motor vehicle. So, ikaw ba ay kumita ng pera? Did you earn income out of the use of that motor vehicle? No. Okay? Pinautang kita. Yung interests, mas mababa sa market rate. So, fringe benefit yung difference nun. Yan ba ay kinita mo? Hindi naman. Kaya nga, special ang treatment ng fringe benefit pagdating sa fringe benefit tax. Okay? In the number 2 is mukha lang siyang mahaba. Actually, hindi naman mukhang mahaba. Mahaba talaga yan. But this is a specific provision of the tax code. Importante ito, lalong-lalo na kung halimbawa sa true or false statement. Okay, tingnan natin. FBT is imposed on the gross up monetary value of fringe benefit, furnished, granted, or paid by an employer to an employee who is holding a managerial or supervisory position. Ang statement na yan, sabi natin, absolutely true yan. Kasi nga, specific provision of the tax code yan. Pag nakalimutan mo kung totoo ba ang sinasabi niyan o hindi, simple lang. I-compute mo yung formula. No? Gawin mo yung formula, di ba? Sabi natin, monetary value of fringe benefit divided by 60%, 65% or 75%. Okay, nang tawag natin dito, gross up monetary value, i-multiply natin ng 35% or 25% kung inari natin gauge yan, fringe benefit tax yan. So, balikan natin ang statement. Fringe benefit tax is imposed on the gross up monetary value. Ang fringe benefit tax ba is imposed on gross up monetary value? True. Kaya true yung statement. Okay, kasi ang basis ng tax is the gross up monetary value. Okay, so tignan mo yung second statement. Napaka-importante rin nito. The gross up monetary value represents the whole amount of income realized by the employee, which includes the net amount of money or net monetary value of property, okay, which has been received, plus the amount of fringe benefit tax thereon, otherwise due from the employee but paid by the employer for in behalf of the employee. So that statement is also true. Okay, pero paano natin gawin to? Tignan mo to. Meron akong papakita sa iyo, huwag kang masyadong bibilib. Wala akong ano rito eh. Halimbawa, nagbigay ng fringe benefit si employer. Okay, susulat natin dito ha. Nagbigay ng fringe benefit, let's say 1 million. So, alamin natin kung sino nakinabang. Halimbawa, ang nakinabang 100% of the benefit is the employee only. So, ang tawag natin dito, monetary value of fringe benefit, 1 million. Okay, di ba? I-divide natin ng 65% yan. So, ang gross up monetary value, magkano? Divided by 0.65. So, ito ngayon ay 1,538,461. Okay? Diba, i-multiply natin ng 35% yan. So, tignan mo, hindi na ako magkakalculate, papakitaan kita. Ang fringe benefit tax is 538,461. Paano ko na-compute yan? Simple lang, tignan mo to ulit. The gross of monetary value, ito yung binabanggit, represents the whole amount of income realized. Ayun, ito ba? Yung whole amount of income realized, di ba? 100% siya lang na pinabang eh. So the whole amount of income realized by the employee, which includes the net amount of money or net monetary value, plus the amount of FBT. Kung ito, yan ba monetary value of the fringe benefit at saka FBT, pag pinagsama mo ba itong dalawa, yan ba ay fringe benefit tax? Tignan mo, 1 million plus 1,538,846. Aba, oo nga, parehas, 1,538,461. Okay, so essentially, this statement is true. Kaya nga importante, pag ganyan statement siya, nakalimutan mo, gawin mo yung formula in computing fringe benefit tax. Okay, number 3. The FBT is imposed regardless of whether the employer is individual. Tandaan mo yan. Kaya nga halimbawa, banggitin na natin pangalan. Individual, si Rosmar, meron siyang negosyo, tapos bumili siya ng sasakyan. If the purchase of the motor vehicle, okay, galing sa pera ng company niya, fringe benefit yan. Okay? So, mga partnership, corporation, yan ang common na mayroong fringe benefit. Or, tignan mo, the employer is the government of the Philippines. Okay? General rule, merong imposition ng fringe benefit tax, including the instrumentality siya na pagdating sa government. Okay, lagyan natin ng example. Yung isang bayan, let's say my hometown in Macabebe, Pampanga, no? Macabebe. Yung mayor namin doon, no? Ang munisipyo bumili ng sasakyan para kay mayor. O tanong, mayor ba managerial position? Yes. Yung granting of the fringe benefit, the motor vehicle, is it subject to fringe benefit tax? Yes, kasi nga kasama kahit ng employer, the government, pwede yan. Pero tignan natin yung nature of the grant of the motor vehicle. Si mayor binigyan ng sasakyan para nakakaikot siya sa mga barangay-barangay. Aba, in that case, required by the nature of the trade, for the convenience of the employer, advantage of the employer, required yan in his capacity as mayor, therefore exempted yan. Pero kung paano, chief accountant, binigyan ng sasakyan. Tanong, accountant yan, chief accountant. Yan ba ay for the convenience of the employer? Parang hindi naman. Advantage of the employer? Hindi. Required by the nature of the trade? Necessary ba yan? Hindi. Aba, yun, merong FBT yun. Ang punto natin dito hindi porke gobyerno, hindi siya, exempted siya sa FBT. Number 4, exemption from FBT shall not mean exemption from any other internal revenue taxes. So kung halimbawa, yung rental, okay, kung sakasakali man na exemption sa fringe benefit tax, pero pag meron siyang taxation sa other taxes, ay hindi siya covered ng exemption. Next, let's look at the comparative treatment of fringe benefit tax. Fringe benefit. Kapag binigay sa managerial position, ito ang managerial position. Pag binigay, fringe benefit tax yan as a rule. Okay, tandaan mo, ang fringe benefit tax is a final tax, which means the recipient of the income is not required to report the income. At hindi yan part ng gross income. Bakit? Sabi nga natin, no, kapag ang income has been subjected sa final tax, the recipient of the income is no longer required to report the income. Kaya nga hindi part ng gross income yan. Now, what if the fringe benefit? Ano nga yung fringe benefits? Ito yung mga have him a hell. Okay, binigay kay rank and file. The treatment is additional compensation. Yan, which is subject to withholding tax on compensation, which is actually a kind of creditable withholding tax, which means tax credit niya yan. Okay? Ito naman, it is part of gross income because treated yan as additional compensation. Therefore, it's as a rule subject sa taxable compensation yan. Now, there is a formula that you need to master now when it comes to computing fringe benefit tax. Simplihan lang natin to. Dalawang grupo lang to. Yung isa na NRA not engaged in trade or business, all other taxpayer, whether RC, NRC, RA, okay, halimbawa RC, ako, manager ako ng isang company, RC ako. Yung ito, balikbayan, umuwi ng Pilipinas, tapos hinire siya, na dito na lang magtrabaho, may managerial position siya, ayan yon. Resident alien, example dito, yung mga coach, head coach sa mga basketball teams. Okay, si Norman Black, si Tim Cohn, mga aliens sa mga yan, they are residing here. So if a fringe benefit is given to them, itong formula, itong computation na yan, masasubject sa kanila. Ganon din ang NRA engaged. Okay? Halimbawa, China, Korean, South Korean, nagtayo ng samgip dito. Okay? Opisina. So, pero nakatira pa rin siya sa South Korea. Non-resident alien siya, engaged in trade or business. Nung pumunta sa Pilipinas, wala naman siyang bahay dito kasi nga taga South Korea siya. So, yung fringe benefit, yung rental ng house or yung pag-provide ng motor vehicle, masasubject sa FBT yan. Pero regular rate yan. Okay? Bakit? Kasi hindi siya NRA not engaged. NRA not engaged lang ang subject sa 25% na rate and therefore divisor na 75. Okay, sino naman itong mga special aliens? Itong mga special aliens, basically, under the old rule, ganito yan ha. Kapag nagtatrabaho sa petroleum service contractor yan or subcontractor, o kaya offshore banking units, o kaya yung sa mga multinational companies, pag nagtatrabaho ang alien dito, holding managerial position siya, okay, pag nagbigay ng fringe benefit, yung employer niya, petroleum service contractor, or subcontractor, offshore banking units, multinational company, pag nagbigay ng benefit yan, subject yan sa fringe benefit tax under this group. Okay, dati kasi itong mga to, subject sila sa 15% tax. Kaya nga, ang divisor nila, 85%. Ngayon, tinanggal na ngayon yung 15% taxation for NRA for these special aliens. Kung ganon, nawala yung fringe benefit tax. Effectively, mga special aliens fall under the category of all of these managerial employees. Okay, so paano yung ano niyan? NRA not engaged. Sir, bakit merong NRA not engaged yan? So halimbawa, Samsung Philippines, meron ditong resident foreign corporation. Tapos yung Samsung South Korea, which is the head office, pupunta rito ang presidente. Pwede ba yun? Oo. Ngayon, pag pupunta siya rito, tandaan mo, hindi naman siya Pilipino, hindi rin taga dito, wala rin siyang negosyo. Okay, nangyari lang na presidente siya ng isang foreign corporation. So, if and when he will go here, yung mga fringe benefit provided by the Philippine company, okay, or domestic company, shall be subjected to 25% na final na rate, at saka ayun, divisor is 75% para ma-compute yung gross up monetary value. Okay? So, yan ang mga categories of taxpayers na pwedeng masubject sa FBT. So, we start with fringe benefit. Ano muna yung binigay? Okay, tapos, tanungin mo yung sarili mo, sinong nakinabang? Empleyado lang ba? O meron ding benefit ang employer? Sabi ko sa iyo kanina, if in the grant of the fringe benefit, there's some sort of benefit on the part of the employer, okay, 50% lang yung magiging basis of monetary value. Kasi yung share ni employer dyan is for the convenience of the employer, advantage of the employer, required by the nature of the trade, at saka yan ay necessary. Okay? Now, so after nating magalaman kung sino nakinabang, ang tawag na rito net monetary value. Okay? Or monetary value of the fringe benefit. Yan talaga yung napakinabangan niya. I-divide natin ng 65, 75. Ang tawag na rito, gross up monetary value. Multiply mo lang ng tax rate. Ang tawag na rito, fringe benefit tax. Ganyan lang kasimple. Now, valuation. Okay, sabi natin ha, kailangan tama yung valuation mo. Kasi pag mali ka dito sa taas, mali ka rito sa valuation, siguradong mali ka na hanggang pababa. Ito naman, very basic lang mga to. Kailangan mo lang intindihin. Tingnan natin yung number 1. If granted in money or is directly paid by the employer, the value is the amount of granted or the amount granted or paid for. So, simple lang. Okay, binigyan kita ng 1 million pesos. Directly paid yan. Sabi ko, ito yung 1 million mo. Hindi mo naman sweldo yan. Okay, so what is the valuation? Yung fringe benefit natin basically is the value of the amount granted. Binigyan kitang 1 million, yan ang value. Number 2, if furnished by the taxpaying property, okay, and ownership is transferred to the employee. Ownership is transferred to the employee. Sinong nakinabang dyan? The employee lang, 100%. Okay, the value of the fringe benefit shall be the fair market value of the property transferred. So, bakit? Very simple lang yan. Okay, binili ka ng bahay at lupa ng employer mo. Okay, what is the fair market value? So, basically, gross selling price, zonal value, or assessed value, whichever is higher yan. So, yun na kaagad yung fringe benefit. Number 3, if furnished by the taxpaying property without actual transfer. Ang tawag natin sa number 3, hulaan nyo. Ang tawag natin dyan ay free use. Yan ang ibig sabihin yan. So kapag ikaw ay pinagamit ko ng sasakyan ko, ng bahay ko, how do we compute the valuation? Ito yung sabi ng rule. The value of the fringe benefit is equal to the depreciation value of the property. So straight line method ang ginagamit dito. Okay, halimbawa, binigyan ka ng sasakyan. Tapos, hindi naman pinatransfer ang property sa'yo. Kumbaga, pinagamit lang. Okay, how do we value the fringe benefit? Very simple lang. Personal property divided by 5 years yan. Kaya 20% lang yon. Real property, depreciable life of 20 years. Kaya 5% lang yan. Okay, so divide mo 1/5. 20% yan. Tapos ito, 20%. Okay, so over 100%. So 20% din yan. Note, if the employer-employee both benefited, sabi natin, 50% is subject to FBT. Bakit? Yung convenience of the employer, tawag nito, advantage of the employer, necessary in trade, at saka required by the nature, exempted yan. Next. Ito yung summary evaluation ng fringe benefit. Ito lang yung tatandaan mo. Kasi lahat halos 100% yan. Tignan mo yung 50%. Nangupahan ng employer para doon katamira. Pinagamit sa therefore, parang pinagamit sa ng libre yung leased property. Dahil, nangupa siya, ikaw gumamit doon. Free use din yan. So, ito talagang libre na pwede mong gamitin yan. Okay? Ikaw na magmay-ari o kaya under installment transfer property. So, halimbawa, sasakyan, 3 milyon. Okay, binili ko yan, installment method. So, free use ngayon ang sa FBT. So, therefore, yan ang valuation natin. Transfer for ownership for less than adequate consideration, okay, or acquisition cost. Merong binigay na property, tapos ipinangalan kay manager. Okay, pero ang halaga ng property, let's say 5 million yan. Tapos selling price 1 million. Ang tawag dito, fair market value yon. Ang tawag dito sa 4 million is transfer for insufficient consideration. Sir, bakit naging ganon? Simple lang. Ang halaga, fair market value 5 million. Ibebenta mo lang ng 1 million. So technically, yung 4 million na difference between the fair market value and the selling price, yan ay deemed donation. Okay, yan ang mga tawag natin dyan, less than adequate consideration. So, ibig sabihin, hindi sapat yung pera natanggap. Tignan mo lang yung tax base. 50% kapag lease, free use lahat to. Free use, libreng gamit. Pinatira ka sa apartment, libreng gamit. Lahat yan, 50%. Bakit 50%? Kasi nga, there's some sort on the benefit on the part of the employer. Okay, so ang base ng 50% rental payment, yung 50% depreciation, straight line method tayo. Kung lupa yan, 20 years ang depreciation. Tapos, acquisition cost naman, kung magkano yung binili. Okay, 100%, transfer of ownership. Okay, whichever is higher pa rin tayo. Now, summary evaluation pa rin to. Tignan mo, kanina, pabahay. Pabahay yan. Ngayon, motor vehicle tayo. Tignan mo yung free use. Nangupahan ng sasakyan ang employer mo para magamit mo. E de, 50% lang ang valuation ang gagamitin mo. In that case, meron pa ring benefit on the part of the employer, kaya 50% lang yan. Yung tax lang yung share lang ni employee, yung benefit niya, yun lang isa-subject natin sa FBT. Kung free use naman yan, okay, motor vehicle yan, parehas lang nasa lupa, depreciation, pero 5 years lang ang ating term. Transfer of ownership, hulaan mo kung sino nakinabang dyan. Kung inilipat sa'yo, di ikaw, kaya 100%. Okay, cash given to employee. Bibili po ako ng sasakyan mo. Sabi mo sa akin, 3 million. Magkano halaga? 3 million. Sabi ko, ito yung 1 million. Sa'yo na yan. Cash given to official for purpose of vehicle installment purchase in the name of the employee. 100% yan. Ikaw na nakinabang eh. Yung yacht, okay, acquisition cost, exclusive of interest. So, that is the basis. Tapos, 20 years din yan kahit na personal property yan. Okay, so ang mga ganyan ay basically, yan ang valuation of fringe benefit pagdating sa motor vehicle. Dito naman, simple lang to. Expenses for groceries, utilities, or credit cards. Nagbayad siya mga pag-grocery mo, ang employer nagbayad. So, kanino benefit yan? Di ikaw lang. Paano pag na-reimburse lang yung mga pinamili mo? Okay, yan pa rin ang basis ng valuation, actual expenses. Now, exempt sa FBT, yung not personal in nature, example ng mga groceries na hindi personal in nature, yung mga call center, yung mga BPO, di ba may mga pagkain niya sa pantry nila? So, the food being provided by the employer, groceries yan, okay, exempted yan sa fringe benefit tax kasi nga, ano yan, not personal in nature. Okay, ibig sabihin, parang yung sa BPO nga, merong libreng pakain doon. Not personal in nature yun, for the benefit of the employee yun. Okay, pero pag nagbigay, fixed transportation, pamasahe, since uh, yan ay pamasahe, okay, therefore, additional fixed yan, ibig sabihin, regular yan. Regular compensation na yan. Regular compensation. Kaya nga, 100%. Sorry. Kapag fixed transportation or representation, halimbawa, buwan-buwan na 20,000 ang bigay sa'yo, kung ganon, withholding tax on compensation yan. Bakit? Treatment kapag fixed is, kaya withholding tax on compensation, kasi taxable compensation na yan. Okay, yung mga katulong ni Japanese or South Korea na galing Korea, yung mga katulong, driver, 100% siya lang nakinabang. Okay, association dues, pinabayad mo no sa employer mo, 100% yan, yan ang monetary value of the fringe benefit na natanggap mo. Ito naman, interest on loans for less than adequate value. Okay, nagpautang ka ng 1 million kay manager. Imputed itong 12% na to given yan sa Revenue Regulations 3-98. So halimbawa, pinautang ka lang ng 1%, yung 11%, basically is the difference between the actual interest given, okay, and the 12% standard rate. So pag mas mababa sa 12%, yung difference nun, FBT yan. Tapos membership dues in social athletic clubs. Athletic club, pina-enroll ka sa isang gym. Magkano yung valuation yan? Magkano binigay sa yung pera? Actual amount paid by the employer. Okay? Ito naman, expenses for foreign travel. Okay? Mga kapatid, kapag ang isang manager ay nag-travel sa ibang bansa, tapos yan ay not related to the business, FBT yan. Pero kung related yan, exempted. Example, nagtatrabaho ka sa isang top auditing firm, tapos ikaw yung napili na magpunta ng Singapore. Okay, kinuha ka ng first class airplane ticket, 30%. So, tapos, yung kasama yung mga pamilya mo, edi 100% ikaw na kinabang dyan. Tapos, hindi pa connected sa trade or business yan, aba, ah, magiging FBT yan kung hindi yan connected sa business. Okay, so yun lang naman ang mga hindi 100%. Okay, ticket, tapos yung sa mga lease or free use yan. Yan lamang ang mga 50%. All other benefit is subject to 100%. Okay? Now, ito naman, kanina, valid. Bakit? For, ano yan related to the trade yan. Pero ito, not related to the trade. Kaya yung 100% ikaw na kinabang, edi yan ang tax base ng fringe benefit tax. Ito naman, yung second to the last, no? Educational assistance, employer dependent, natanong to sa board exam, parang October 2024. Okay, exempt sa FBT kapag connected sa trade or business and scholarship is under competitive scheme. Anong ibig sabihin ng dapat ang scholarship is under competitive scheme? Scheme. Kung halimbawa, since ikaw ay tropa ng presidente, ikaw yung binigyan niya ng educational assistance. Okay? Aba, favoritism ang tawag doon. So therefore, hindi yan competitive scheme. Therefore, masasubject yan sa fringe benefit tax. Okay? Basis is actual amount paid. Now, life health insurance company in excess of mandatory. So, eto, exempted yan, matik. So, ano ngayon ang magiging basis natin? Excess of what the law allows. Yan ang subject sa FBT. Tandaan mo, ang buhay ng tao ay hindi mami-measure. Okay? So, kumbaga, kung life or health yan, anong meron dyan? Yung excess lang noon. So, halimbawa, SSS law, employee maglalagay ng 100. Yan ang contribution ng employee. Si employer, okay, anong ginawa ni employer? Okay, instead na 100 na sinasabi ng batas, ang ginawa niyang 500. So the difference, 500,000 is actually subject to FBT yan. Okay? So parang ganun yan. Yung in excess of what the law allows is the one subject to fringe benefit tax. Okay? So dito muna tayo mag-stop.